Visit GamedayMensHealth.com.
At Myers Collision Center, they can help with minor dings to major structural work. Myers Collision Center gives fast, free estimates with a lifetime warranty on workmanship. Myers Collision Center is trusted by thousands of drivers in the community. And they've been voted best auto body shop in Clarksville since 2024. So the next time you have an accident, remember Myers Collision Center can take you from to Myers Collision Center, open Monday through Friday 8 to 5, or stop by in Southern Indiana at 2803 Blackiston Mill Road. Online at MyersCollisionCenter.com.
When designed.
It's time for Mondays with Dalton Pence on the Big X Sports Radio. Now, here's your host, Dalton Pence.
Card Nation, what a Monday. Or honestly, what a weekend, but seems like the sun is just hitting differently on this Monday. The grass looks greener. The sky looks more blue. Great weekend for your Louisville Cardinals. Thanks for tuning in to another week's edition of Mondays with Dalton Pence here on the heels of the Mike Rutherford Show with no Mike Rutherford, as he was able to experience Rory McIlroy going back-to-back down in Augusta. But the main news came when he turned that phone on and was like, oh, Louisville's got 2 new commits. So we're going to break down what happened this weekend. We're going to discuss what could come next. Louisville apparently is trending as the favorite for St. Mary's star Paulus Morauskas. We will debate between John Blackwell and Juke Harris. We'll talk about Adrian Woolley potentially returning and what that would do for the starting 5 and the rotation. All that coming up on this episode of Mondays with Dalton Pence. Taking you up till 7 o'clock tonight. Dalton Pence, Roma Kelly, and Matt Childress in the Big X Sports Studio. 502-414-1450, the Gameday Mens Health text line, to get any thoughts in about the commits that Louisville has gotten, the commits that Louisville could receive this week, and much more. But, guys, could there have been a better start to the portal window than getting the number 1 overall player and a point guard that's not too shabby either?
I don't think so at all. I think you've done it basically as well as you possibly can, especially because not just because you got the number 1 portal player in the class, and then was he 16th or 18th? I know that number's kind of
Shelstad?
Yeah.
It depends on who you look at, because some have him as high as I think 11.
Yeah.
And he's like top 30 consensus, but top 5-6 point guard overall.
Yeah,
but you
13, 11, 15.
You get the job done.
Can you
so
believe
quickly.
they spent $30 million on Flory and $25 on Shelstad?
I can.
The number keeps going up.
That's just where we're going at this point. That's just what's going to happen. Maybe you get your money up before you get your funny up.
It's going to get to the point where next week you're going to be able to fund the creation of a full Marvel movie with the money that Louisville gave both Badunga and Shelstad.
I think that we should do that. I think that we should create our own Artemis 3 and send Flory, Badunga, and Shelstad to the moon.
Why would we do that?
Just for publicity stunt. We got the money. Why not?
I think we should send Matt Childress to the moon.
I'll do it. I'll do it today.
You go to the moon?
Yeah.
All right, let me ask you this. I don't want to get too far off track. Oh, screw it. Let's get far off track. Would you rather A, go deep into outer space? Well, let's say to the moon. Would you rather go to the moon or go deep sea diving?
Oh, the moon.
Like true deep sea diving.
The moon.
Like Mariana Trench.
There's no, I'm not even.
It's not even close?
The moon. The ocean actually terrifies me.
Space doesn't, though?
Nope. Because at least at space, I know there's nothingness. There's things down there.
Well, I mean,
there is stuff down there that I don't know about.
Well, you never know with outer space. If things go sideways in either location, you're cooked.
I'm not worried about the passing away aspect. I'm worried about what's going to be passing me away.
It's kind of existential, but okay. Rome, is it a debate in your mind, or are you just?
I don't trust my luck. If I go up to space, I cannot trust that I'll get back down here. So,
I mean, but that's the same thing. If you go down to the Mariana Trench,
you gonna swim back up?
Maybe.
No, no, you're not.
At least I'm in this gravitational sphere here.
Well, I mean, if the sphere breaks, the water pressure is immediately going to kill you, is it not?
It will. Probably.
Get in that Ocean Gate sub.
How far can you go down before like it's automatic that you're dead and that you can't swim back up?
Not very far. I bet. We should look it up what the exact number is, but I feel like it's like.
Well, because if you go down to the Titanic, all the pressure will cause an implosion, likely.
Yeah, you have to have the vehicles set up to do that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, one thing goes wrong in the sea, down there in the deep parts of the ocean, you're cooked. The same thing with space. I think it's just a preference of, do you want to have...
I feel like there's just that sliver of a chance that someone could maybe save you in the water.
Without special equipment, the human body can typically face severe life-threatening pressure issues around 100 to 200 meters at 330 to 660 feet.
I was going to guess like 300.
Okay, well, how far down is the Mariana
Your
Trench?
survival limit could push 1,000 in extreme
Can you look that
scenarios.
up before we get back on track? How far down is the Mariana Trench?
It is... Oh, it's only 36,037 feet.
So you're cooked either way.
Yeah, you're not even getting like 2% down, and you're dead.
Anyways. Sorry for getting
But
off
yeah,
track.
I think it's a great start for Flory Badunga and Jackson Shellstad to be Louisville Cardinals. Not only because it's great portal class already, but you get it done so quickly, and you create this core of your roster next season that brings other great players want to play with great players, and you can use that as a pitch.
Yeah, that's the thing that moving forward, that's the talking point is Flory Badunga and Jackson Shellstad are going to be basically recruiting for you. Yes, don't get me wrong, you have to get the money aspect right. But there is, I think, a desire for a good amount of these players in the portal to go to a place where they have a chance to win a lot of games and have some postseason success. And one way for Pat Kelsey to counteract what other coaches will use against him is, oh, well, his best season ever, they won one tournament game, and they almost blew that game. That's what people are going to say. Recruiting against Pat Kelsey is, look at what he's done at Louisville. Yeah, it might be impressive, but they can't beat the best teams on their schedule. They can only win one tournament game. There's a lot of risk involved. I think it's easier to use the rebuttals against that argument if you bring in the number one portal players. Okay, yeah, sure. It's taken us a while to kind of get going, but we're serious. We just brought in Flory Badunga, who might just, well, be the best player to ever enter the portal, along with Yaxel Lindenberg. We also got Jackson Shellstad, who started over 70 games at the Power 5 level at guard. So, yeah, not only is it great for the start of your rotation, but recruiting becomes that much easier because you've got those guys recruiting for you, along with Pat Kelsey.
So do you think that they would rather go deep sea diving or go into space?
I think they'd rather play cornhole.
Oh, I know they do like that. Do they use bidets?
Rowan, where do we find this guy?
I do know that they
Sir, this is a Wendy's?
they hit the nightlife. Maybe that nightlife won them over.
I think it was the cornhole.
I think it was.
You think they
the
stopped
extensive paycheck.
Do you think they stopped at Dizzy Whiz on the way to the airport?
They were like, "This is what you're getting when you come to Louisville."
I mean, if they stayed close to campus, it's probably not like the easiest route in terms of like you do have to go out of the way to get to Dizzy Whiz from campus, then go to the airport. But
well, Burger Boy's right there.
Dizzy Whiz, maybe Ollie's Trolley, but
Ollie's is
more of a Toasties guy myself, honestly.
I haven't had Toasties yet.
So good.
that's why I say we need to get a Whataburger in the Ville, because that would be a selling point as well.
Whataburger is good.
Whataburger, In-N-Out.
No, I'm good off that.
No?
In-N-Out sucks.
Ooh,
Sucks.
hot take.
It's terrible.
Terrible.
That's literally the McDonald's of the West Coast. It's awful.
No, it's not that bad.
It's pretty bad.
It's worth its money.
That's like Dwight Howard at the free throw line level take, like 56% level take. But what frustrates me about this, however, is, and I understand a lot of it's coping, right? But watching opposing fan bases act like this is the first time anyone's ever shelled out a good amount of money for like a school to land a player. Like, oh yeah, well Louisville, they landed Flory Badunga, but they had to pay him. You think Duke wasn't going to have to pay him? You think Michigan wasn't going to have to pay him? Texas Tech, the rumor was that they were going to offer $5 million, and nobody cared. They're, oh, well, Texas Tech's got the money. That's what they do. They offered a large amount of money. That's cool. He's going to go there. Well, that didn't end up happening. But you're telling me that these other schools, like the way that people are talking, makes it sound like people were just going to get Flory at a discount. That was not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to the fact that every time you miss on somebody, then you just tell the other team they overpaid for him.
I didn't want him anyway.
Yeah,
We didn't want him. We actually didn't recruit him. I know he was on
here anyway.
I know he was on campus yesterday, but that was just a formality. We didn't want him.
We talk about the market every single day on every single show on this station, but then when you actually land a guy and you pay for them on the market, every other team's like, I can't believe you would actually spend market price on that player.
Bro, market price is not what it is, but one school does not dictate the market price for the entire portal. The market price changes depending on who you're recruiting. The issue is that we are in this era where there are no, like, there's nothing checking this system, right? We mentioned that I think that collective bargaining is what's going to happen if there wants to be, like, significant amount of recorrecting of the market. It's not going to happen. Even if there's this, like, concerted effort, there's always going to be one school that probably gives that player what he wants. We're in this era where the market continues to get more inflated. So I'm just getting out of this mindset of, oh, well, you overpaid for a player. Who are you to tell that they overpaid for a player? What is overpaying? Like, what is a player's actual value in the transfer portal?
Whatever the first team tells them it is.
You look like you've just seen a ghost.
Somebody just texted me somebody that got indicted today in Louisville, and they got indicted for trying to impersonate a giraffe. That was what my text message on my phone was.
Excuse me?
That's literally what it is. It's just
impersonating a giraffe.
It says criminal.
That's a crime?
Trespassing third degree / impersonating impersonating a giraffe.
So someone was trespassing at the Louisville Zoo.
Impersonating a giraffe, yes.
How do you even do that?
I don't know. I literally just got the text.
Do you go get stilts?
There's not even context under the text. It's just the picture. Jefferson County, their name Caitlin L. Finnerty.
I've heard it all, fellas.
She's impersonating a giraffe.
Out of what could have come out of your mouth right there, that was the last thing that I was expecting. I was like, oh, maybe Louisville got a new commitment or a new visit. Nope. Somebody's getting indicted for impersonating a giraffe.
This is why Flory's here. He's going to even this stuff out. No more impersonating giraffes when Badunga gets on campus.
It just means more?
It just means more.
But back to what I was saying before you brought that to our attention. Like, what is overpaying nowadays? Because value is dependent on what a school's willing to pay, correct?
Pretty much.
So we're in that era now where say what you want about overpaying, pay what you need to pay to get a player. Because if you don't pay Flory Badunga, looking at the rest of the class, the guys that aren't committed, maybe Chom from Cincinnati, but he's going to cost a lot of money. Some other players, like if not Flory, then who are you going to bring in? And I'm sure that they had some pivots ready to go, but were they going to be, if you have the money to get Flory and Shellstad and also fill out the rest of your roster, then why not do it?
Yeah,
other schools do it.
What are you? The thing is, to me, is what are you saving the money for? Are you just not going to get them and then overpay for somebody worse than them?
It's funny watching Flory commit to Louisville and the next day On3 drops him in the rankings.
Yeah,
not even trying to hide it anymore. He's now number 2 in the On3 player ranking.
That's what's happened on every recruit.
Unless that was a screenshot, like a AI screenshot.
Every single recruit we've ever gotten, as soon as they're linked with Louisville or committed to Louisville, they drop in their recruiting rankings and this and that.
Texter says, I came for the juke info. I'm staying for the giraffe story. Oh, man. But can't talk about juke because Louisville's broke. Don't you know it?
Mm-hmm.
We're broke.
They paid him $35 million.
Took out a loan to pay all $35 million at 9% interest rate.
All I'm saying is next season, when I come to the Yum Center and I go buy a beer or something, It gives you like the 502 circle. Like, would you like to round up? I just
$5 tip, buddy.
I just want Flory Badunga's face, and it just says put in however much you want, and I just input dollars. I'm adding to it.
Nobody else wanted Flory, man. Nobody else wanted Shelstad
He only averaged 13 points a game
in the Big 12.
in the Big 12, and only 9 rebounds as the Defensive Player of the Year.
All Big 12 third team. Didn't matter. Not good enough.
He's not.
He's only 6'9", don't you know?
Yeah, he's only 6'9". He can only run out in transition.
He can only dunk. Because I watched a 30-second highlight clip on Twitter, and it showed only dunks. Therefore, I've come to the conclusion that all he can do is dunk.
What if we get the like Ben Simmons like off-season video where he's shooting threes, and we're like, is Flory Badunga developing a three-pointer finally?
I'm ready for those.
Over under. Has he taken a three-pointer? I feel like he's taken a three-pointer. I'm going to look that up.
Missed 2 last season.
Okay. Over under. 3.5 three-pointers taken next season.
Under.
Over.
I'm going to hit over.
You think over?
We're going to
even
be
after we
we're
saw
gonna
with Frew this year?
We're going to be blowing some teams out. Well, Frew
could actually shoot.
never wanted to shoot the ball, though.
But does Flory?
Yes. I think so.
You think we're going to
You
get Isaac?
you can't tell me if we're blowing a team out for, he's like, all right.
You think that we're going to get
Zoomers.
like Isaac McNeely-esque interviews where he shoots 4 threes in the game? He's like, this is the most fun system I've ever played in.
You imagine his first game, bro, just 2 for 3 from
Just
3.
pulls it.
Texter says Flory is one-dimensional, but he dunks and blocks shots. Here's the thing about it is, I think I would encourage those that believe that all he can do is dunk to go back and watch some full Kansas games, and I think you'll be thoroughly surprised by how many times Kansas threw him the ball down in the low block, asked him to go get a bucket, and
He won them the Arizona game.
What you'll see a good amount of spin moves. A lot of his shot diet is spin moves, getting to that left-handed hook over the right shoulder.
Yep.
He sort of got that down. Now, I'm not saying that like he's going to be a guy that averages 20 and 10 next season. He's probably not going to be your number one scorer. I think if he is, might have a little bit of a problem. But my take is that you don't need him to be the guy to give you 20 a game. Like, that's not why you're bringing him here. Now, of course, I think there are games where, like the Arizona game, Matt, that you said, where they beat Arizona in Lawrence without Darren Peterson, where he had 23 and 10. Nobody could stop him with that jump hook or dunking. But his whole offensive game, no, he's not going to step out and use the mid-range unless he just takes his development to a new level this summer.
PK won't let him do that anyway.
He's a player that scores around the basket, but it's not just dunks. But dunking, of course, is efficient, but you brought him here to fill some of the largest needs that you have. Rim protection. He averaged 2.6 blocks a game in arguably the best conference in basketball. Okay, check that box off. Physicality. I think there were certain matchups, like against Chom in late February, early March, some other matchups where he struggled a bit, but he doesn't lose the physicality battle often. So you check that box off. And you get some athleticism in the front court. He runs the floor extremely well. I think he's a really good player because of his skill and athleticism, but don't let it be mistaken. The guy plays with an energy that's just contagious. He's going to be a fan favorite immediately. Like, if he wasn't the number one overall portal player, let's say he was number 25 and he commits to Louisville, I still think he's going to be a fan favorite because of the passion and the energy that he plays with. People have mentioned, oh, well, he plays like Montrezl Harrell, a better defensive Montrezl Harrell. I think Harrell had more of an expanding like mid-range game, but Badunga is, I think, definitely the better defender.
All right, I'm going to ask you guys the heavy-hitting question right now. I know it's really early.
You know that this is going to be probably the dumbest question of the show, Rome. But go ahead, please, Matt, enlighten us.
Jackson Shelstead or Flory Badunga, who's kissing the Cardinal?
Both.
At the same time?
Probably not
think
the
they-
same time.
You wanted to know that more than if there was going to be one.
Yeah.
You think they hold hands while they do it?
No, I do not think so. How many? Okay, let me ask you this: because of the tradition we saw with Chucky and Ryan, do you think we see more players kissing the Cardinal now?
Yes.
Because it's becoming more of a tradition. Like people, isn't there one at Michigan State where players kiss the court? Or am I There's some type of tradition there.
I have no idea.
Got to look it up or something.
I don't know, though, with these two because they're not seniors.
Shellstead. Well, Shellstead technically probably, if he fought for it, probably could get a second year of eligibility. He would have to get the medical waiver because this is technically his senior season.
I thought he got it. I thought
he might have.
I would go on a limb and say this would be Flory Badunga's last year playing college basketball.
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
I don't know.
He's a fringe first rounder right now, early second rounder in my opinion. And next year's class isn't supposed to be all that great.
That's true.
So I think for a 6'9" center who's a little undersized for the NBA level, who doesn't really have a game that expands beyond the paint, even though he's pretty versatile defensively, I think then again, if he's making a good amount of money, I think it's long-term financial security that he'd be going after his junior year.
Yeah.
Because we get paid more, unless he's a lottery pick after this season. I don't think that's probably going to happen unless he goes 2 for 3 in the first game from 3. But let me ask you all this, and be patient with me here. When we come back after the top of the hour, we are going to talk about Paulus Morauskas, John Blackwell, Juke Harris, some other players. Are you worried at all about Jackson Shellstad's hand injury? He only played 12 games and had a hand injury that cost him the rest of the season that apparently the rumors were did damage to the tendons and the ligaments. I don't know if I think Mike on his show claimed that he got the surgery, but I don't know that it's been confirmed. Are you worried at all with how Louisville's been decimated by injuries, that taking a player that missed over half the season last year is not the greatest idea?
I'm always going to be worried bringing in a guy like that. But at the end of the day, all of the injuries that we've had to deal with as Louisville fans since Pat Kelsey has been injuries within the season we've played. And like they've come in for pretty healthy. They haven't been issues with bringing in guys who aren't healthy. So I'm just kind of trusting Pat Kelsey that, we wouldn't shell out the money on a guy who's, we're not going to JQ Jackson Shellstad.
Roman's goofy. He responded to my Mondays with Dalton Pence tweet. Says, tune in, discussing Flory Badunga and impersonating giraffes.
In the next segment, you can find out how you can do it yourself.
I always worry about it. Until he goes out there and shows he's 100%, you have to worry about it.
I think by design, of course, this was always going to be the case if they committed around the same time. Shellstad I think he's a much better addition than people are talking about. At the moment, it kind of seems like he's being treated as an afterthought, and I don't think it's intentional by the fan base, but everybody's excited about Badunga, right? Shellstad, he's a baller, man. Started 70-plus games at the Power 5 level. This season, before he got hurt, looked like one of the best guards in the Big Ten and increased his assist numbers by over 2 assists per game. He's going to be very, very good in the ACC. Now, I don't know that he's going to have like a Chucky Hepburn ascension to stardom, but I do think Shellstad, look, averaged 15.3 points per game before he got hurt, 4.9 assists. This guy is a really good candidate to continue the backcourt dominance that Louisville's had. Or backcourt, I wouldn't say they're dominant this past year, but standouts, if you will. Texter says, is it sour grapes to say this high school class reminds me of the O.J. Mayo class? O.J. was super hyped, but didn't do anything in March, or didn't do much in March. I don't really know what this is pertaining to. Is this you mean like the upcoming high school class?
Yeah, that's what I think it means. Kind of trying to relate OJ to Tyron.
Where would you rank Stokes in this current class? I'm going to give you a couple players, and you have to tell me where Stokes would rank, okay, before we go to break. AJD, Cam Boozer, Darren Peterson, healthy Caleb Wilson. We'll just stay with those players. AJD, Cam Boozer, healthy Caleb Wilson, Darren Peterson. 1 through 5.
AJ is first.
Okay.
I think Darren Peterson second, then Caleb Wilson, then Boozer.
So you think Stokes would be at 5?
I think Stokes would be 5. I think that would be, actually, this might be a hot take. I think Stokes might be better than Karen Boozer.
I think he'll be a more electric college player, but I don't think
they just don't play the same role, so it's kind of hard
But I think he has a lot higher of a ceiling.
I don't disagree there.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Where would you put him, Rome? Of those 5, where would you put Stokes in terms of college production?
I haven't seen him defend a player his talent in over a year. That's the issue with that. When you outside of the little bit of USA play he's done, I gotta agree with Matt. Unfortunately, even though I do feel like if I was an NBA head GM, you maybe build a team around one of them. I'm gonna go with Stokes over Boozer.
Oh yeah, I think long term, Stokes. I think Stokes would be 4.
I think long term you could. I
don't
like Wilson and AJ more than him.
I think
long term.
I think Caleb Wilson could be a Kawhi clone if he can find the consistent shot. I think he's a Kawhi clone. But anyways, I think in terms of this year, Texter says I'd probably rank Stokes 3 to 4 behind AJ and Peterson. I think the thing about it is that Cameron Boozer, even though he's not the flashiest player, he was so good this season for Duke. The floor was exponentially high. The floor was higher for him than any other college freshman. Caleb Wilson at healthy was an elite 2-way forward. I think the thing about it is that Stokes, I do worry about the defense, Rome. I also wonder he's a great player, but how does he play against the best in his class?
Yeah.
Related to the best in this class. I think that this is just a generational class. It's not so much about Stokes as much as it is how good the class is. He's the best player in the 2027 class. Get to one more text before we head to break. What's up, guys? Couldn't be more excited about the start of portal season for us. What's up, Drex? If we get Paulus from St. Mary, does that seem to you all like we're changing styles a little bit? Hard to see our run and gun offense with Badunga and Paulus on the floor together. Well, we'll answer that question when we come back. Don't go anywhere. You're tuned into Mondays with Dalton Pence here on Big X Sports Radio.
Card Nation, join the excitement and secure your Louisville women's basketball season tickets today for the 2026-27 season. For more information and to purchase your season ticket, visit gocards.com/WBB tickets.
Since 1914, Creamer's Smoke Shop has been your one-stop smoke shop, family-owned and proudly serving Louisville. We offer the largest selection of cigars in the area, plus classic wooden pipes and premium loose and tinned pipe tobacco. Conveniently located right off 64 and 71 at 1839 Brownsboro Road, or call 502-584-3332 to check what's in stock. Creamer's Smoke Shop, your one-stop smoke shop since 1914.
Roosters is the place to watch your favorite teams play. From college to the pros, Roosters has all the games. Plus, you're going to love the food at Roosters. Come watch the games and enjoy 79-cent boneless wings every Monday. Roosters with 6 Kentuckiana locations: Dixie Highway, Preston Highway, Fern Creek, Shelbyville Road, Springhurst, and in Clarksville.
When design is key to your landscape project, give Walnut Ridge Landscape and Design a call at 812-288-6691. Walnut Ridge has more experience than any landscape company in the area. Remember, Walnut Ridge Landscape and Design. When design is key to your project and you want the most experienced landscaping company in the area. Give Walnut Ridge a call at 812-288-6691. Walnut Ridge Landscape and Design. When design is key.
As a proud sponsor of the Mike Weatherford Show and Louisville Cardinals basketball, United Mechanical is committed to providing the same reliability on and off the court. United Mechanical is Kentuckiana's business-winning choice for reliable HVAC, electrical, plumbing, and refrigeration services. Season after season, call United Mechanical, your trusted home team partner at 502-339-1133. That's 502-339-1133. Let's go Cards.
Honey Baked Ham in New Albany is the perfect spot for a healthy alternative to fast food. They provide a variety of freshly made sandwiches, as well as salads and delicious soups. And you can dine in or take it to go. They also have many dinner options such as ham, turkey, frozen sides, and desserts, which provide a complete meal. Catering is also available for small groups or large gatherings. Call Honey Baked Ham today, 812-941-9426, or visit them 3602 Northgate Court, Court, Suite 23 in New Albany.
At Valley View Golf Club, the game just keeps getting better.
This is Kentuckiana's only locally owned sports talk. The Big X, AM 1450 and 96.1 FM, WXVW Jeffersonville.
Top of the hour here on this April 13th edition of Mondays with Dalton Pence, Dalton Roman, and Matt, taking you up till 7 o'clock tonight. Well, there's not a shortage of topics to discuss. We just discussed this past weekend. It was a great Sunday for Card Nation. Flory Badunga, the number one overall player in the transfer portal, the center from Kansas, is a Louisville Cardinal. Oregon standout point guard or combo guard, whatever you want to call him, Jackson Shelstad, is a Louisville Cardinal. So, instinctively, the next question is, well, what happens now? Who joins the group? Because
we don't have any more money, so.
So it's me, you, and Rome starting at the 5.
Which one of us is playing the 3?
I think because Rome and I are, well, hold on. We've got our 5 figured out. So Shelstad, I imagine, would be the 1. I think that Rome and I would have to be the 3 or the 4 since we're taller than you.
Yeah, we could do that. I mean, but I could also try and be like the Javon Hadley glue guy, where I could get just muddy it down there up in the 4. I'm just basically 5 fouls down there.
But we need you on the floor.
I'll space them out.
Hold on, no. Will Hankey's got to be in the starting lineup. So he can start at the 4 since he's taller than
Or John Rothstein. Will Hankey's going to start for us this year.
Yeah. And technically, London Johnson's still on the team, so one of us would have to start.
Well, he's coming off the bench for one of us, obviously.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, he's got to earn his rep.
So which of us?
We've been doing this.
Which of us 3 wouldn't start?
Ooh, I don't know. Maybe we just do
like the 5'6" guy.
Why you gotta throw shade at my guy? Like
I'm not. I'm just saying the logic. We're trying to have a bigger system here. We're trying to have a bigger team here.
I'm saying knockout competition. We figure it out. Like Ben.
Then I am 100% in the starting lineup. I think we need to run ones, king of the court style.
What?
First to 5 gets to choose who the other starting member is.
A game of 21 with tip-ins involved.
I don't know, fellas. I don't know if y'all can stop this floater of mine.
I'm just gonna go for the ACL injury.
God,
cut him down. We're playing for money. We're playing for a spot.
That doesn't mean
it's a cutthroat league,
buddy. Frequent substituting. You're playing just as much as the starter.
No, there's no subs. It's 5 in. That's it.
Let's get to the question from Drex before the break. If we get Paulus Morauskas from St. Mary, does that seem to you all like we're changing playing styles a little bit? Well, for those who don't know who Paulus Morauskas is, he is one of the top 10 players in the transfer portal. Morauskas is 6'8". Sorry, I probably should have looked him up already, but I think it's pronounced Paulus as well.
I thought it was Paulius.
If you go to
Paulius, I thought.
So if you go to the Arizona media guide from when he was a freshman there, you know how they have like the pronunciation?
Yeah.
Like he said it himself and it was Paulus.
Okay.
So I'm going to say it that way. But 6'8" junior from Lithuania, averaged 18.4 points per game, 7.6 rebounds per game this past season for the Gales. 48% from the field, 33% from 3 on basically 3.5 attempts per game. And he averaged 6.1 free throws per game as well and shot 84% from the charity stripe. So he gets to the line a good amount. Now, he would have to take a step up in the level of competition. I think that the WCC, it's not the worst mid-major conference out there because you do have Gonzaga, you do have Santa Clara, which he had a really good game against Santa Clara, the Broncos in the WCC conference tournament. But I don't think it's a matter of changing of your playing style because you're still going to run. I think that there's just going to be more of a focus to get the ball into the paint. And if you listen to Pat Kelsey, he mentions that. Get the paint touches. Now you just have the guys that can give you the results. Because in years past, I mean, James Scott, think he played his role well, but he was a lob threat, and that's basically it. Sananda Frew, I think the opportunity could have been there, but he was a little hesitant on shooting the basketball. Well, you've got Flory Badunga, who dominates around the rim, and now you've got Morauskas, who can stretch the floor. So I don't know that it's a matter of changing up your offense. I don't think you're going to slow down tremendously. I think it's just going to be a matter of you want to get into the paint. Now you can consistently here.
Yeah, I feel like we have a collection of players already, and like that's assuming Paulus does come to Louisville. We'll say he is for this sake. That you're going to be able to run in transition. We saw Flory Badunga this season run in transition a lot with Darren Peterson in Kansas. He's not the fastest guy down the floor, but he is athletic enough and has the will and has the power to do so. I think that Pat Kelsey is grabbing two guys that are going to play heavily in this front court that can score basically on their own and be two pieces that, hey, look, if things start to break down the system that I have going, you can get it down to a Badunga or you can get it down to a Morauskas that is going to be able to put their back to the basket, out-physical somebody, or have enough finesse around the rim to either get to the free throw line or call something towards the end of the shot clock, which I think Morauskas is looking like he could be one of the better players on our team in that aspect.
I think the good thing with Morauskas is, like, because it's pretty clear, well, I forgot Louisville doesn't have enough money.
None.
Does Morauskas know that?
Well, he's going to come here and he's going to play cornhole. That's why he's coming here. And he's going to watch a bad baseball team play.
What do you think Morauskas' NIL package is going to be? So I'm going to give you a package. You tell me if
imported vodka.
He's bringing Balkans with him.
I'm going to give you a sample NIL package, and you have to tell me if you would accept it or not. Okay.
Okay. This is for me. I'm not playing a character or something. Like, this is just for me.
Up to interpretation.
Okay.
Well, actually, no. You are a top 10 portal player.
Okay.
We are definitely living in a hypothetical right now, if that's the case.
Hey!
Okay. Remainder of the Louisville Kings season, you get season tickets. You get box seats, okay?
Yeah.
That's the first thing,
Okay.
okay? Year-long gift card access to Dizzy Whiz, okay?
There's more?
Yeah, there's more. There's more. You get 2 free season tickets to Louisville Bats games.
Only 2?
Can I give those up?
Hold on. Nah. But wait.
It's like I left my Giants tickets in my car. Somebody left another one.
Yeah, dude, I left 4 tickets on my windshield. Came back, there were 9. Okay? You get a front row seat on the Bella Louisville whenever you choose.
Ooh, okay.
Okay? You get a Matt's Louisville poster on the side of the building downtown.
That's my selling point. That's all I need. You can
Okay.
cut everything else out.
Okay. I've got one
Do I
more.
get to pick the photo?
You do. You get to
man.
choose the photo.
I'm going to own this city.
And open tryouts for Lou City FC at the position of your choice.
And am I allowed to sign a multi-year deal?
To Louisville City?
Am I allowed to come back?
It's got to be a futures contract.
Oh, man.
You can negotiate it, but it can't happen until you leave.
So there's no
campus.
training until I'm done.
Well, you could train in the off season. Yeah, like you could train in the summer with the team. It's just got to be a futures contract.
Cover free to O'Shea's anytime you want.
Would you take this proposed NIL package?
Yes.
There's no money involved, by the way. We're broke.
I don't need it.
We're broke.
I
We
don't
have to rely on donations of other assets. Do you remember? Okay, we're going to go into memory banks here, but you have to tell me, we're all JCPS kids, right?
Yes.
We came from
That's
JCPS,
not.
right?
I'm not.
No? Oh,
I was
well.
a BCPS kid.
Are you from Louisville, though?
Like suburbs, yes.
Well, Rome, you might remember this. Do you remember in the summers where, like, the Louisville Free Public Library had, like, you had to, like, complete a bunch of assignments, but you got, like, gifts at the end?
Yes.
Free Wendy's Frosties or free coupons or...
What, like AR points, like for reading?
No, it was like a... You know what I'm talking about, Rome?
It's like those little projects.
Yeah, you had to, like, projects, like, you have to make 2 visits to the public library. You have to go to this art
And
center.
you guys doing side quests.
Basically.
You guys were NPCs, what you're telling me.
No, man, just trying to build up my V-Bucks on Fortnite.
Get some V-Bucks.
But would you take that NIL pack?
Yes, I would.
Okay, well,
I need a car at least. You got to
Take that.
You got to throw me a car at least.
Sorry, man. No can do. We don't have the money for
Pence
that.
just gets to pick you up and take you wherever your needs.
I need like a bird scooter that just is always running.
Okay, I can give you a bird
bird that I don't need to swipe the card on. You know,
a bird scooter with $75 allocated credit per month.
day.
Oh,
I need per day on that. I
gosh,
expect
where
her
are
to
you
get back
going?
from the. I'm going to the Bell, and then I'm going to the Bell, and then I'm going to the Bats game.
And then he's going from the Bats game to O'Shea's. He can't.
How am I going to get from the Bell to Dizzy Wiz with no car?
walk.
Give me $50 a day on a bird scooter, and I can take that.
Okay,
$50 a day per diem is crazy.
Right. But anyway, I think that Louisville's end game here is to go get Morauskas, who they're favored to land, according to multiple people out there, and to add a difference maker, whether it's John Blackwell or Juke Harris. And yes, there is a question about those two that we will get to after the next break. But can I also say, I think that this will be a perfect front court. Like, I think that this is one of those situations where the pieces complement the other so well. With Flory, you've got a guy that gives rim protection, that scores around the bucket, really good running the floor. And with Morauskas, it's different. You don't have that rim protection, but you've got a guy that stretches the floor, gives Badunga more space to operate, and he can also attack in the mid-range. So I think that his playing style is really good alongside Badunga and vice versa here.
I think so as well. I think that you kind of touched on already that they all just, complement each other really well. It's one where, like the texter said earlier, I don't think we're necessarily changing our style up a lot. I think we're going to be able to play a similar style to what we have been.
Just changing roster construction.
Yes, and I think it's going to fit a lot better. It's going to be more balanced. It's not going to be as much of, okay, well, we know what the tape's out on Louisville. They're going to run out in transition. They're going to shoot a bunch of threes. I feel like there's going to be different alleyways for Louisville to score and get stops on this team, where it's going to be more of a game plan situation for teams coming against us. Whereas, you just kind of put a few stops in a row, get an 8-point lead, and you just kind of coast from there. I think that we're going to have a lot of options, and I think that you're not putting too much weight on each player's shoulders. It's not like, okay, we got Flory Badunga and then a bunch of guys around him. Okay, we got Jackson Shelstead, but no in front.
I don't think that it's going to be a situation, unless you go out and get a guy like Juke Harris. I don't think that Badunga is like your go-to guy. No. I don't think Shelstead or Morauskas would be your go-to guys. The issue is that they're complementary pieces, right? Like if you go out and you get a Juke Harris or a John Blackwell, two guys that averaged over 19 points per game at the Power 5 level, like there's your go-to scoring option. But I mean, you've seen it. Look at the teams in the Final Four. Michigan, they had Yaxel, but they had other guys that popped off at random times, quite frequently. Arizona, did they have a go-to guy? No. Who else am I missing? UConn. Terrace Reed was really good in the NCAA tournament, but that was also a team that was really well balanced. And who did? Illinois. Illinois had Wagler, but
they had Momcilovic.
He
wasn't like the go-to.
Momcilovic. No, he was Iowa State.
Iowa State. No, I'm thinking of who am I thinking of? What's the twins on that team?
Ivicic.
Yeah.
Thomas Love and Zvonimir.
Yeah.
But you also had Boswell. You had Mitrovic. You had Mitrovic is the wing.
Yep.
The 6'9" wing.
Yep.
You had it was balanced. Like you can't have just one guy. You got to go out there and like I looked at what Louisville struggled with last year, and you tell me that you're going to. I think even if you go out and you get Morauskas, is that an upgrade over Javon Hadley at the 4? Yes, because Javon Hadley's natural position was a 3. I think Javon Hadley at the 3 was better than Vaughn at the 4. I don't think it's close.
I'm agreeing with you.
How would you feel if we got another big man, so then you got Morauskas playing the 3?
I don't like that. Unless the 4 can shoot the ball really well and also be able to kind of create his own offense, because at that point you got to run something like Florida does, where you got Chinyelu, you've got Howe, and you have Condon. Very rarely. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I think Michigan and Florida this season were more outliers than they were like the norm, because who's going to have a Mara, Morez Johnson, Lindenberg front court next year? Nobody. Could it work? Yeah, but that's where maybe the style of play changes up a little bit, because you're definitely going more interior heavy. It also depends on what does that hypothetical 4 that you're talking about, Matt, bring to the table. Is he a guy that's going to clog the paint, or is he playing on the interior? Like, if you say like he's a 3 though, but if you go out and you get, let's say like a Momcilovic, okay, from Iowa State, that's different. That's different. But honestly, I think that even if you go out and get a guy like Blackwell or Harris, athleticism and defense need to be your priorities for the final starting spot. And I don't think that Momcilovic really fills that role. Now, I would love Momcilovic to play at Louisville because he's the best three-point shooter in the country. But if you're starting 5 next season, offensively would be incredible. If Shelstad, Blackwell, Momcilovic, Morauskas, and Flory, defensively there's probably some question marks on the perimeter.
A little bit.
Now, does it help that you have an elite rim protector? Sure. Are you going to be able to win a championship with that starting 5? I don't know. You're going to be able to outscore a lot of people, but see what things look like when you get to the Final Four. But it's a very interesting topic because first you got to land Morauskas right and then see what happens this week. And that's what we'll discuss a little bit more because I see the rumors out there about John Blackwell. I know that there's become a growing belief that Louisville could be involved with Juke Harris. Who would you rather have? Is there a chance you could land both? What happens with Adrian Woolley? We'll try to answer those questions when we come back. Don't go anywhere. You're tuned into Mondays with Dalton Pence here on Big X Sports Radio. Hi, this is Dalton Pence with Big X Sports Radio with a message to you from Collier Law Firm. Have you been injured in an accident or on the job? The Collier Law Firm's got your back. The Collier Law Firm is more than just a typical injury law firm. It's a team of former insurance defense attorneys and paralegals with unbeaten experience. And with attorney fees starting at just 25%, Collier Law Firm puts more money back in your pocket because they have your back, not your wallet. Don't settle for less. Trust Louisville's own Tony Collier and the Tony Collier Law Firm to get you the best results. Visit us today at CollierLawFirm.com. That's COLYER lawfirm.com.
There is nothing better than a great golf outing to Christmas Lake Golf Course in Santa Claus. You'll love the scenery and especially the fully stocked golf shop with great prices. Christmas Lake Golf Course offers Monday and Tuesday specials along with afternoon and twilight specials too. Call 877-XMIS-GOLF. That's 877-962-7465 option 1. Or go to ChristmasLakeGolfClub.com for more information on the upcoming events at Christmas Lake Golf Course in Santa Claus, Indiana.
Louisville's longest-running pro sports team is back. Louisville Bats Baseball at Louisville Slugger Field. Family-friendly entertainment at budget-friendly prices. See future Cincinnati Reds in action. To plan your day at the ballpark, visit BatsBaseball.com.
Options. When it comes to insurance, that's exactly what you deserve. I'm Chad Hennessy with InsureMax, and I've been proudly serving the Louisville area for over 25 years. As an independent agent, we work with auto owners insurance to find coverage that fits you, not the other way around. InsureMax delivers strength, service, and peace of mind through partners like Auto Owners Insurance. More choices, more options. Call me, Chad Hennessy, at 502-479-4085.
The plumbers, pipe fitters, welders, and HVAC technicians of Local 502's commitment to excellence can be seen in our community every day. The KFC Yum Center, Ford Motor Company, and the Omni Hotel are just a few examples of their professional craftsmanship. Local 502 has been part of our community for over a century and invests over $1 million annually training skilled local workers. Members of Local 502 are your friends, neighbors, and children's coaches. For more information, go to lu502.com. Local 502, built on excellence, building a better tomorrow.
Does your business look as professional as the work you do? At Matley Digital Solutions, we help local businesses stand out with custom signs, eye-catching vehicle wraps, high-quality print, branded apparel, and professional graphic design. From concept to installation, our team delivers master-level craftsmanship and responsive service you can count on. Whether you need to turn your company vehicle into a moving billboard or make your storefront impossible to miss, Matley Digital Solutions is here to help. Visit MatleyDS.com or call 502-375-2525.
Are you craving Italian food? Try Palermo's authentic Italian cuisine. Enjoy $2 bottled beers during all the basketball games. Daily food specials. Come visit our new outside patio, 936 Baxter Avenue. Palermo's authentic Italian cuisine.
I'm Kathy Binkaman. Over the holiday, there was an attempted fraud attack. My personal banker, Mary Rose, and I networked together, and the first thing that I thought of was I have to text her. And it was just within the next few minutes, there was an entire team that came together collectively. And that's just not the type of service that you typically get from your bank.
That's Kathy's story. Now let's get to work on yours. Republic Bank. Time to thrive. Member FDIC.
At Myers Collision Center, they can help with minor dings to major structural work. Myers Collision Center gives fast, free estimates with a lifetime warranty on workmanship. Myers Collision Center is trusted by thousands of drivers in the community. And they've been voted Best Auto Body Shop in Clarksville since 2024. So the next time you have an accident, remember Myers Collision Center can take you from to Myers Collision Center. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Or stop by in Southern Indiana at 2803 Blackiston Mill Road. Online at MyersCollisionCenter.com.
Segments down, 2 segments to go on this jam-packed episode of Mondays with Dalton Pence here on the Big X Sports Radio. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in to the YouTube stream. If you have any thoughts, we got a couple of comments and texts to get your thoughts in to be discussed. 502-414-1450 is the Gameday Men's Health text line. 502-414-1450. Question asks, getting in late. Where are we with the guy from St. Mary's, and where are we with retaining Woolley? It sounds like a decision is coming soon for Paulus Morauskas, according to On3 and according to other people around Louisville, that a decision will come soon. And if you believe On3, it's Louisville or Arizona State. But apparently the Cardinals are pretty much in the driver's seat, Rome, is what it sounds like.
It's what
everybody's kind of gathering here.
Hearing.
Where are we with retaining Woolley? Now, nothing's set in stone, but I feel much better about Woolley coming back on April 13th than I did on March 13th, I'll tell you that. I thought he was automatically gone, Rome, I won't lie.
I thought when the portal opened up, you were going to see him.
But now, it's pretty clear that I think he's waiting to see who comes to Louisville. Or he's just waiting, like both ways. Either he's waiting to see who comes in so he can determine if he wants to compete for playing time, or he's waiting to see who comes in if he believes he wants to win a national championship here. Or, C, are they going to have the money for him? Because Louisville's broke, according to Matt Childress. That's what he's tweeting out right now. There you go.
I am doing that right now. I'm tweeting
My
about.
gosh, what is that book?
I'm tweeting about how it's crazy the fact that
Too long, didn't read.
We got all of these players for free.
That's crazy.
So Pat Kelsey's culture really just is that good.
I'm happy for you, or sorry that happened. I mean, this guy's typing a book over there.
I'm having an important conversation.
Oh, man. Texter says, hypothetically, would you want Blackwell or bring back Woolley and add Juke? Sounds like Blackwell is going to be pricey. I think Juke costs more. I think Juke Harris would cost more money, truthfully. Both are going to take a lot of money. Now, worth mentioning that Juke Harris, the crystal ball in favor of the Michigan Wolverines, was removed today, but sounds like North Carolina is looming there. And Blackwell sounds like Illinois and Duke. So I'll say this before we get into like how possible. Well, no, we'll start with how possible. There were rumors out there that floated around on social media. I know that it was like a shared screenshot of a text, but basically suggesting that the step one for Louisville's plan was to get Flory and Shellstack committed, and then they were going to go visit Blackwell with both of those two players in effort to get him to join Louisville in hopes of creating like a key three. Now, a visit to Louisville hasn't been scheduled. Everything in the moment seems like it's rumors, but feels like where there's smoke, there's fire, Rome, and it feels like Louisville is making up some ground here in a hurry. It's just a matter of what is Blackwell prioritizing.
Yeah, I think that when you see that we're in the lead from Morauskas, or not in the lead, I shouldn't say that, but that we're heavy hitters for him right now.
Could you say we're in the lead? Like,
I think we're in the lead. I think so.
In the lead doesn't really matter.
That doesn't mean anything.
You could say Louisville's in the lead, but it doesn't.
Yeah,
really
on April 13th, that doesn't mean much. But it's still big. I think when you're talking about a player who hasn't come in for a visit yet, from what I understand. So, in terms of Blackwell, I think that you need a scorer. You need another player in that backcourt, kind of like what you mentioned earlier in the beginning of the show. Dalton, you don't know for certain what the injury may be for Shellstack. It might take him some time to get comfortable back on the floor again. He might have dealt with other aspects of that recovery to that injury, and there's question marks centered around that. I think you need a guard that can light it up.
Dylan Mingo just reopened his recruitment.
Huh.
Didn't mean to cut you off, Roman. It literally just came up on my phone.
No, I'm going to find that as well.
Intriguing. But Juke, it seems like it's all rumors at the moment, from what I've gathered. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm an inside source or going to be the first with information, but it feels like I think, and I don't want to put words in his mouth, but someone shared me a screenshot that Jody Demling thinks that Louisville is in the mix for Juke Harris. And if Jody says something, you can probably take it to the bank. He's on point. And I hope that's the case. Now, someone asked me earlier, do you think they could land both? I doubt it. First of all, Louisville's broke. Don't you know? But
we only have so many posters.
But you are, like, in all seriousness, you are spending a good amount on Flory and Shellstack. And if you land Morauskas, I doubt you're going to land both of those players. I just don't see it. Now, is it possible? I guess anything's possible, really. But I think it's an either or. And I think that regardless of who you add, there's a chance that it's one of those two and Woolley coming back, in my opinion. So the question says, would you want Blackwell or would you rather bring back Woolley and add Juke? Like I said, I think Juke costs more than Blackwell because he's a little taller. I think, is more athletic. Defensively, they're both not the greatest defenders, but I think that they can hold their own. I think Juke costs more. They're both going to cost a lot.
Yeah.
I think Juke costs just a tad bit more.
I think I'd rather have Juke Harris if I had to pick. I think that his scoring ability, I like it a little bit better in the sense of the pieces that we have right now. You would go out, like you say, you don't really need that guy.
I think you do. I think you do need I think you need an alpha scorer.
I just meant like the point you made earlier that like the teams in the Final Four didn't have like one guy that goes up there and does work.
That's
but
fair.
it would make me more comfortable having a dude like Juke Harris who can go out there and get you a bucket basically at will.
Same with Blackwell. I mean, what's crazy is like, oh well, Blackwell he only averaged 19 and 5 in the Big Ten. Is that it?
Yep, think so.
Casual 19 and 5, and I think it depends on what you want. Blackwell's a better 3-point shooter. Harris is more athletic, and he's a little taller. Rome, if you had the choice, you know Woolley's going to come back. Okay, let's play the hypothetical that the prerequisite is you know he's coming back. Do you go and bring in Blackwell, or do you go and bring in Harris if you had the option?
If you've got Woolley back, I think you go bring in Harris. You go complete your big name starting 5 lineup, assuming you're in the lead for Morauskas and you have the money for all three of these guys.
I was about to say, like that's a huge hypothetical, but
the hypothetical here is one that I don't necessarily. I wouldn't be surprised if we can't financially make happen. Woolley's going to command over $1 million. We know Juke Harris and Blackwell are both 3+ kind of million guys.
Depends on what you believe Louisville's budget is.
I just don't think that
but they sure didn't pay $9 million for both the players they just got committed.
I just think that we can't go out and have this thought process that Louisville just doesn't have any more money because they brought in these two players. I think Pat Kelsey is a smart enough man not to go out there and say, here's 100% of our NIL budget for you three guys. Now let's just hope we can get lucky with the 200th best guy in the portal.
They are treating this how we were hoping they would. They are paying the vast majority of their money to probably 6 to 7, maybe 6 to 8 guys, and filling out the rest of the rotation with flyers. Fair?
Yeah.
Fair to suggest?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that you're paying. It wouldn't surprise me like if you had 7 really good players in the remainder of your rotation, you're just kind of taking some chances, and if a couple pan out, that's great. I think with how calculated they are, with how calculated Pat Kelsey moves, I don't see any situation where this isn't like a coordinated push. They're not going out and trying to make this happen and just wasting their time if they can't make it happen. If you couldn't go out and get Morauskas and one of those two players, why would you even try if you know you couldn't with the money and also fill the rotation now? Is there a way that if they bring in Morauskas and one of the guards that Woolley leaves? I think it's possible. I still think it's possible that both could happen. You could bring in 2 of those 3 players and Woolley comes back. The question is that a smart way to build the team? And I think yes, because you're spending most of your money on the top end of your rotation and you're filling out the rest with some depth pieces, maybe some younger pieces that you believe in the potential with, maybe some guys with local ties. I just refuse to believe that with how coordinated Pat Kelsey operates, Dan Furman, and how coordinated they operate, I just don't see them wasting their time with John Blackwell or Juke Harris. Even if they were saying, you know what, we have to offer a huge discount. He has to take a huge discount to come here. I don't even think it's that. Maybe they're not offering as much as some other teams, but they're hoping that, hey, look, we're offering a very competitive package, but the selling point here is that we've got Flory Badunga, Jackson Shellstad, and potentially Paulus Morauskas. And saying, let's go try to do this damn thing and win a championship. Like that's the selling point. I think that they have a competitive offer. Like if they are seriously involved with Juke Harris and seriously involved with John Blackwell, and I don't know that they are either way. I think that they're more serious about Blackwell than Harris at this point. But I agree with Rome. I'd rather have Harris. If Woolley does come back, and if he is like your penciled-in combo guard, off-ball guard, you do need more size at the 3. Harris is 3 inches taller than Blackwell. Now, you lose a little bit on the perimeter shooting side, but you gain more athletically.
Say Woolley put his name in the portal 5 minutes ago, Dalton.
Did he?
No, I'm saying, hypothetically, Woolley puts his name in the portal 5 minutes ago. Would you rather go spend that money on Blackwell and hope you can go find a player with the size of Juke and you can just get the best out of him for that less than $1 million range? He probably was on the bench at a power conference level. Or would you rather go after Juke Harris and go see if you can bring a guard in who, you know, maybe was a backup? I don't even want a player that wasn't starting caliber, but a guard that you're spending less money on, you're hoping you can get the most out of, and your big heavy hitter out of those two positions is more of a Juke Harris. In the hypothetical Woolley doesn't come back. You want Blackwell, you want Harris?
Give me Harris. I think that supply and demand has to come into the equation as well. I think that there's more of a demand for, like, wings that can be number 1 scoring options versus really good 2 guards. And that's no disrespect to Blackwell, because if Blackwell were to commit at 6:35 in 2 minutes, I'd throw my arms up and celebrate. Like, he's that type of commitment. What are you about to say? You're about to say something.
I was just going to say that, you know, our gas prices in Louisville might be going up with all these players we're getting. We got to pay it somehow.
Texter says the
The bigger win is PK was able to get the NIL fundraised. Who cares about how much?
It ain't my money. Spend however much you want.
Yeah, that's true.
We're already spending $52 million combined between Badunga and Shellstab. What's another $160 million?
I mean,
can we defer the payments like the Dodgers?
See, that's where we're going to be heading to.
I don't think so.
I think get to like an Elite Eight, the number you spent, I feel like immediately becomes unimportant.
But yeah, Pat Kelsey being able to raise this money with just one tournament win under his belt, that means that you're a salesman and you're selling the vision. Something that I'm not even going to talk about the last coaching regime.
Yeah, they weren't not even in the same tier.
I'd rather have Juke Harris. I think that because you can't really teach that athleticism that he has, that I can go get a bucket at any time and you can't stop me. I think he's more of he's at a different level in terms of scoring, even though the numbers wouldn't show that with Blackwell. I think it's easier to go get a better shooter to go alongside Harris than it is to go get a better and more effective athletic wing than it would be to go alongside of Blackwell. Yeah. And I mean, you could bring in a two guard that could be like a McNeely type of player that is brought on to shoot the ball and being an off-ball creator. So I just think that, I'd rather have Harris. And if there's
we're trying to assemble the Avengers over here.
Good. We deserve it.
I mean, you kind of
need that to win these days.
You kind of said it already. I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm just sitting here thinking, like, we won one tournament game with a team that had zero defensive mentality, couldn't even keep our star point guard in the game because we didn't know.
Play.
That's what I'm saying. We couldn't keep him on the floor to play enough games to have it worth. Be like, is it worth him on? And now we're talking about Louisville spending top tier, elite tier money, some of the most in college basketball, to bring the best quarter class in the country.
So you think? So we think.
Seems like that's what's going on.
It would be if you went out. I mean, I think that. Again, I think that this is where Pat Kelsey comes into play. Like, you had maybe an NIL budget. How do you go out and get these players? Well, you increase funds. How do you go out and do that? You fundraise. You go out and you prove. I mean, it's sales 101. You've got to prove to those that are either you're bringing in new donors or you're getting some more money from certain donors. I'm not going to sit here and say
that some diehards are getting much richer.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and act like 100% this is going to happen, but like, this is where Louisville's their mindset, their mentality's turn. So we got to talk about it. John Blackwell's name hasn't been mentioned for nothing. Juke Harris is kind of one of those things. I'll believe it more when I see it. I think right now he's in North Carolina lean. It would make sense, right? They're trying to make a splash with Mike Malone.
They made it with Avdalis. Not that that's going to be a lot of money, but I thought it was.
I think he's going to get paid a little bit. I think Avdalis got paid a decent amount because 6'9" European prospect that had a decent season at Virginia Tech.
Pass, shoot, and play make. I get it.
I wonder.
I thought Juke was a Michigan lean.
Yeah, somebody removed a crystal ball for him today.
Oh wow, nice.
Then again, like I said, this is sports radio. This is all hypotheticals. Nothing is confirmed in the portal right now. Nothing is confirmed at the current moment. All I know is it's not my money. I don't care how much you spend. I don't care how much you spend at all, as long as you win. So let's take a step away for a second. Let's go to break, and when we come back, we're gonna have the conversation about Adrian Woolley, because it seems like the fan base is a little torn. If they want him to come back and be a focal point, a true starter on this team, because some are like, you know what, I want him to be a starter. Some are saying, you know what, I want him back, but it's as a six-man. Some are saying, you know what, maybe it's best to move on. We'll tell you what we all think individually when we come back here on Big X Sports Radio. Hi, this is Dalton Pence with Big X Sports Radio. Are you looking to make your backyard dreams come true? All America Pool has been installing state-of-the-art in-ground pools for over 50 years. A family business in Louisville, they offer everything from retail, parts, service, to above-ground and in-ground construction. Give them a call at 502-448-0300 or visit them at 4646 Dixie Highway in the South End. That's All America Pool.
It's time to put your tax refund to work and enter your chance to win a $1,000 gift card at Miller's Mini Barn Tax Refund Sale. Choose from our Amish handcrafted outdoor furniture, durable sheds, barns, and pavilions, to our expanded line of pergolas and outdoor kitchens and grills. Let Miller's new management team help you create your perfect outdoor living experience. Save up to 25% and win a gift card now through May 31st. Visit us at 5217 Charlestown Road, New Albany, or in Salem, Indiana, and online at millersminibarns.com. Miller's, creating spaces that feel like home.
Calling all young golfers. The PGA Junior League at Old Capitol Golf Club is the perfect way to learn the game, make new friends, and compete in a fun, team-based environment. Open to boys and girls of all skill levels, our PGA Junior League is coached by PGA professionals, helping kids build confidence on and off the course. Join the team and experience golf like never before. Sign up today at Old Capitol Golf Club and let's tee it up. Visit oldcapitalgolf.com to register now.
It's March. Let's huddle up. Cater with Salsarita's Fresh Mexican Grill. Flame grilled chicken, fresh salsas made daily, hand-mashed guacamole, and the star of the season, our new mango salsa. Sweet mango salsa with a hint of lime. Pile it high on tacos, bowls, or burritos. It's a slam dunk of flavor. Hosting a watch party? Score big with quesadilla trays, our Three Amigos dips, or the melty, crave-worthy queso fundido. Bring championship flavor to the table at Salsarita's Fresh Mexican Grill. Fresh ingredients, bold flavor, 3 locations. Visit salsaritas.com.
My name is Terry Schultz, CEO for the Rutherford County Area Habitat for Humanity. Republic Bank has really been a game changer. They have invested not only financially, but time to really listen so that we can move our mission forward. What I like about Republic Bank is they've come in asking, what are your needs? And I don't know that you get that any other place.
That's Terry's story. Now let's get to work on yours. Republic Bank. Time to thrive. Member FDIC.
The plumbers, pipe fitters, welders, and HVAC technicians of Local 502's commitment to excellence can be seen in our community every day. The KFC Yum Center, Ford Motor Company, and the Omni Hotel are just a few examples of their professional craftsmanship. Local 502 has been part of our community for over a century and invests over $1 million annually training skilled local workers. Members of Local 502 are your friends, neighbors, and children's coaches. For more information, go to lu502.com. Local 502, built on excellence, building a better tomorrow.
Cards fans, looking for a competitive advantage in today's data-driven world? Look no further than earning your master's in business analytics from the University of Louisville in just 12 months. There's no previous coding experience required. Delve into the world of analytics and data visualization, learning essential tools like R, Python, Power BI, machine learning, and more. These classes are now available both online and in person. To get started or to learn more, visit business.louisville.edu/UofL-MSBA today.
There is not a better feeling to have a smile on your face after getting your car serviced. That's how it works at Consolidated Tire and Auto Care. Serving Kentuckiana for over 3 decades, fixing brakes, putting tires on, and servicing your car. And now, from a new and improved location at 3305 Preston Highway. Want to get your car running right and keep it that way? Get to Consolidated Tire and Auto Care, 3305 Preston Highway. Got a question? You can call them at 456-2220. Consolidated Tire and Auto Care, total car care, and the best brake job in town.
.643, we got just about... got till about 6:59 tonight on the Big X Sports Radio airwaves. Mondays with Dalton Pence continues up until then. Dalton, Roman, and Matt taking you for a couple more minutes talking everything Louisville portal as it currently stands. Louisville has 2 commitments. Kenai Roots ended up committing to Oklahoma today. Best of luck to him. Zugris, Frew are still in the portal. We still don't know about London Johnson or Adrian.
You're telling me somebody
Bowie.
hasn't paid Frew or Zugris $3 million yet?
No.
Dang. Nobody has any money anymore.
We couldn't because we're broke.
Yeah, we're broke. Nobody has any money.
Let's talk about Adrian Woolley. Because, like Rome and I said, I thought that he was going to enter the portal right after the season. I thought he was gone.
Yeah.
And it seems like now he's at the very least open to staying. A, do you want him back at the, I would say, predicted amount of like between, I don't even know what Wooly's getting paid, a little less than 1.5 maybe? Do you want him back on the team? B, more importantly, are you okay with him being a starter on this team? Or is it dependent on who else you bring in?
I think it is definitely dependent on who else you bring in. But I'm going to say now that I wouldn't be angry if he was a starter on this team. I definitely want him back, no matter what. I don't care if he's starter or bench or whatever. I definitely want Wooly back. I think roster retention, even in this era of basketball, is still what's most important. And he's a guy who's been proven at the Power 4 level. Yeah, he had a couple bad games here and there, but we saw what Wooly can be, and with the development, and PK has been done pretty well at developing guards in his career so far. So I'd be excited to see what he can do again, especially with the pieces you're looking at and you're trending with to bring in. I would be very excited to see what Wooly can do in with the roster that PK is developing. So yes, I want Wooly back.
Bro,
I really want Wooly back. I got a hot take. I think Adrian Woolley all around, top to bottom, is a better basketball player than Ryan Conwell. And I want to see him in that position, not having to hold the load, like carry the load as a ball handler, getting to be a full-time scoring threat for your offense. I think he's suited for it. And after a year of being in it and learning it, I want to see what he can do. Not to mention he's one of the better defensive players you have as an option right now.
Okay. I want him back. I'm torn on the role. Because I'm sitting here and I'm saying, okay, well, if you get Shelstad and Woolley as your starting backcourt, perimeter defense is going to be a major question. I think Woolley is a capable defender, but he's not an elite defender. I understand that he had to play a role that wasn't necessarily what he's good at, but I think that he'd be best served as a six-man. I think he'd be a really good six-man off the bench for Louisville that plays a good amount of minutes. It's just, what does that progression look like next season? He turned things around at the end of the season last year, but he wasn't elite. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't, like, let's look at, I'm going to bring up his stat lines for the last X amount of games. And he won you that Miami game, right? He won you the game on the road, which was nice. He averaged 8.7 points, 4 rebounds a game, shot 45% from the field.
Felt like he was best in that Michigan State game.
Yeah, 35% from
He was
three.
the only person that showed up in the Clemson game.
So let's start. Okay, so let's start with the Clemson game. Yeah, he showed up, but it was at the end of the game, though. Yeah. When the game was over.
That was also because they had Michael Brown basically forced out there under injury.
So when
Michael was BSing out there.
When Michael played his final game, Woolley had 8 points and 7 rebounds against Syracuse, 15, 6, and 4 on the road at Miami. He had 14 points and 6 rebounds against SMU, 5 points against Miami the second time around. He was 1 of 5 against 1 of 5 with 3 turnovers and 4 personal fouls against South Florida, and he had 17 points, 4 rebounds against Michigan State. I think it just depends on who the 3 is. Like, it's not so much about Woolley that I'm worried about. It's, do you have enough firepower in that backcourt? Because I think he might do certain things better than Ryan Conwell. He's not better than Ryan Conwell. Ryan Conwell is close to a 20 points per game scorer. And if you're saying, well, the volume helped Ryan get there. With more volume, does Adrian Woolley get to 20 points per game? I don't think so. I think that Conwell is able to create his own offense better than Woolley. I think Woolley's a better defender. I think Woolley's better at taking the ball to the rim, but Conwell's the better shooter. So I don't buy that he's a better player than Conwell. Can he take a considerable step forward knowing what's expected of him as a junior next season? Yeah, I definitely think so. And I would definitely like to have him back.
I think he's got the abilities to go and
it's just
take
what is the role, right? Like
what?
It's not so much about Woolley. It's about who are you filling out the remainder of the starting five with. Like if you had Juke Harris,
then you have a creator. But if that's more of a shooting and 3-and-D guy, then Woolley, we need 18 points per game, which is I think he's capable of at the 2-guard spot, not being asked to facilitate.
It's just got to be consistent with him. I think at times
you got to give him consistent minutes. You got to give him a consistent rotation. Got to give him a consistent position.
I think. Well,
what was consistent in his season at all with how he
played? I think the minutes were pretty consistent. What wasn't consistent was the role, and he got asked to be the lead guard when Michael went down. I don't think that was fair, but that's what he got asked to do.
Should have been Ryan Conwell being that role, but
I mean he had to as well. But the thing about it is like both of those guys are off-ball creators that specialize in playing off-ball and scoring when they need to, but they're not necessarily the greatest facilitators. So, look, I'm fine with Woolley coming back. I don't want you all to think that, oh, my gosh, he's going to come back. I don't think we can win games now. I think you can definitely win games, and I think he's going to take a step forward. But, A, what does that step forward look like? And, B, how much are you going to be paying him to come back that maybe you could be paying someone else that could give you more? Or does continuity matter that much to you? And I think it should matter some.
I think it's also a player that, chose PK in this system over, some other pretty big schools that
John Calipari
that were going to offer him more money, and he came here specifically for the system and the culture. So it's a guy who is already bought into the situation. I know that players out there, they want to make it as big of a bag as possible. But at the end of the day, I mean, I don't think any player wants to play for 4 different schools in their career. I don't think any player wants to constantly be in the portal, jumping around from home to home. So if they can find the right price and, you can build a good roster around them and, like you said, Dalton, you can sell them on the vision, I think that guys like Woolley would want to stay here, just like Frew technically wanted to stay here. And I think that if we're sitting here listing players that we want back, Woolley is definitely on the top of my short list. But I do agree with you. There are probably players out there that are more proven than him, are probably even better than him in the portal that you can spend that money on. But at the end of the day, it's a guy who, with Michael Brown out, this dude brought the energy every single night. If anything, even on his bad nights, you knew he was going to work his ass off. You knew that he was going to go out there and play for the minutes he gave him, whether they were a lot of minutes one game or very few minutes the next game. He was going to do everything in his power to make them as efficient as possible. And he had some really great games towards the end of the season when you really kind of unhooked the leash and let him go. I'm fully bought that I think that in this situation, it's still depending on, like you guys said, who's around him. Like Roman, you said, if you go out and get a Juke Harris at the 3, you have that scoring option. That helps Woolley out. He can just kind of be the primary, on-ball defender or something like that. You don't want to pair him with no other scoring option so that he's the main guy. But at the same time, I think that in this particular situation, he's like the Javon Hadley of bringing back. Like, he's not going to go out there and give you 25 and 10, but he's going to be your glue guy that is the Pat Kelsey chemistry guy that keeps the cogs moving and blends everybody together. I think that's why I want him back.
I know I want a player like that for 1.2, 1.5 million more than I want a Blackwell type of player for $3 million, for sure.
Would you go after Dylan Mingo?
Yes.
I think Mingo, I think Shellstad, I think he can be your go-to one, but I think he's better suited as an off-ball guard. Mingo's a little taller. I think Mingo... we haven't even talked about this. Quinn Ellis. Seems like at this point, if you're pivoting to John Blackwell, you're kind of fed up with him not making a decision. Because the rumor out there is that nobody has really made an offer up to Louisville's at this point, and that offer's been out there for 2 weeks. Make a decision or move on. And at this point, I'm kind of hoping Louisville moves on.
Yeah.
Because if the agent wants to play games, I'm not sure that's what he's doing, but it seems like that's the rumor out there, that they're just waiting for a larger offer. Cool. You can wait without the Louisville offer in hand.
Yeah, I'm cool on the players that are in those kinds of spots.
Yeah. Come to Louisville if you want to be here. If you don't, don't.
Don't make the coach fly out all the way to Italy just for you to tell him you want to change your opinion.
And when I was cool on him when that happened. Money. When that happened, I was cool on him. What does that say about his character?
Fly all the way across the world And when he gets there, hey, by the way, nobody's offering me this, but this is what I think I should get. Okay, cool. Go somewhere else.
You think they got some, like, all the European guys got some big European group chat, and they're just like, hey, let's ask for a lot of money right now?
No.
I know a couple of those agents are speaking to each other. Though.
Oh, the agents are 100% definitely in conversation of, hey, my guy is potentially getting this. Oh, cool. Let's get this.
I think that he has a game that can translate to college basketball really well, but he's also unproven in college basketball. And, Louisville fans obviously probably have a lot of fatigue from bringing European guys over and being afraid that they don't translate well, so you're taking a risk on that. There's definitely players in the portal right now who are proven in Power 4 level college basketball that I would pay Quinn Ellis money for over Quinn Ellis.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's even a debate.
I agree.
If you were to tell me it's between Quinn Ellis, Juke Harris, or Blackwell, I literally wouldn't even have you finish the sentence.
Yeah,
I would just pick up the other one.
Yeah, it'd be a proven college player. And look, I think the Quinn Ellis is a really good player and will be an all-conference ACC level guy, but there's a considerable amount of risk, right? It's all about projection. You're saying, well, he plays in the EuroLeague. That means the stats are going to be able to bump up. You know what you're going to get from Blackwell or Harris. I'm fine with it because you can't sit around and wait for whenever Quinn Ellis wants to make his decision, which who knows when that's going to be.
I mean, he's basically the Tyron Stokes of Italy over there.
When do you think Stokes makes his commitment?
We talked about this earlier today, and I asked Stephen Peake genuinely, the big thing with the portal is that it's not like recruiting visits where, like, that high school recruits are going to go on all their visits. They're going to go on every one. They're going to test the waters at every school that want them, see if they like it, right? But in the portal, if you let a guy get off campus, you've basically lost.
More often than not, yes.
There's the Tyler Thompson with football this year that they ended up
Isaac
coming
McNeely
back.
went to Tennessee.
Yes,
Yep.
but more often than not, if you get off campus, it's basically over. I told him, I said, with how long Tyron Stokes has pushed off his recruitment, if Kentucky doesn't get a commitment to him by Tuesday,
they should move on. When did Nate Ament commit last year?
It's pretty late.
I'm looking up that day. April 20th. So a week from today. Stokes going to make a commitment before April 20th?
No.
I don't think so.
He's going to let that go into summer.
Because here's the thing. Kansas and Kentucky both really haven't made splashes in the portal. They've got the money. Stokes knows that they have the money. At this point, it's like, what are you waiting for, really?
I mean, I think they're both waiting to pay Tyron Stokes because they need
No,
to
I'm not talking about
money to
them. I'm
somebody.
talking about him. Like,
oh,
what
you
is
mean
he
him?
waiting for?
Jack up the price?
How much higher could it go?
But this is a kid who has tried to drive the narrative the entirety of the college season. Every time there's news that comes out, he might be committing today. He literally outwardly comes out on social media and says, I'm not committing that day. I don't know where that's from. It does it all the time. Like, he just wants to be the centerfold of the news, and he wants to run the narrative himself.
Yeah. I don't know, man. This is a weird recruitment. But it's also like, when do Kentucky and Kansas both say, okay, I need an answer, or we got to move on?
I think they've committed too much of the recruitment to that they're behind on other guys. They can't back out. It's one where if Kentucky,
he's that good to where you kind of have to just wait it out.
Yeah, and if Kentucky gets him, then Kansas is like, well, now we missed out. Now we're behind all these guys in the portal, and vice versa. Kansas gets him. Kentucky's like, well, now we win.
It's even worse for Kentucky because of the optics.
Yeah.
Like, if you lose a guy who's from the state that, I mean, Kansas fans know that Bill Self's probably coaching his last season in Lawrence this season. Mark Pope, this season might be coaching for his job. So a little bit different situations, but I don't disagree, man. It's going to be interesting.
I think that Kentucky specifically hasn't backed out yet because I think Mark Pope is kind of resting his job on getting this Tyron Stokes recruitment.
I think it would help out a lot. But, yeah, I think you're kind of too far in the recruitment to really, really, really back out. So, well, that's going to just about wrap us up here on this April 13th edition. Don't forget the football spring game, I believe, is Friday. So be sure to head out to that. Also, I'm sure by this time next Monday, we will have a good idea of what Louisville's roster will look like, in my opinion. Thanks for tuning in. Go Cards. We'll see you back here next week.